UrTypical Podcast. Thank you for listening to Your Typical Podcast. Pete and I are back another week 7. We're just the season is cruising, and we're going through some. I said cruising, but like we're going through some turbulence because it keeps going up and then down, and then up and then down, and then up and then down. So we're back to just give you our thoughts about this long week that we've been going.
Yeah, long and boring and frustrating week to say the least.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to all the things, but just to kick us off, the last person that got evicted was Kamu. We got to see Kamu finally fall from his throne, his Tea Party throne, and get evacuated from the house, as Dee said. He got beat by Angela in the Blockbuster, which was actually really great to see. I really love that. And yeah, he got evicted 8-1. But Lala being the only person voting to keep him, mostly because no one just filled her in on the plan to vote him out. There was little time, apparently. There was a plan to keep Kamu no matter what, but then Mallory and Melody told Taylor last minute, like, hey, Barrett and Drew are making us vote him out, whatever that means. So Taylor was able to change her vote, but because of the order of the votes, Lala was first. There was no time to tell Lala, so she was kind of left out of the vote. Thoughts on Kamu leaving? What do you think of Kamu's game? What could he have done better? What are your thoughts?
He's definitely a weird guy. I didn't really like him, but I think unfortunately he is one of the more screwed over players in recent history of Big Brother. Just with his Diamond Power Veto nomination and then eviction. Took a game-breaking power to get him out of the game. I think that says a little bit about how good he was at it. I mean, every single week he was in the head of household room, able to kind of take the heat off of himself. So I think he played a great game. Happy to see him go. But I do think that he would have been a great player of opposition for the vets that really feel like they're starting to become unstoppable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think things are bad when I find myself weirdly rooting for Kamu to stay in the house.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of want him to stay. I don't want him to go because I feel like, I mean, granted, props to Devins. I think when I thought of the Diamond Power video, I'm like, if he used it on like, honestly, even like a Drew or like a Taylor or Lala, like it would have felt like a waste. It would have felt like a waste of a move. It would have felt like, well, Devin's just using it to just use it. So he put himself in the best position to actually use it and get basically the bang that I feel like the power like that was made for. I mean, he sat on it for weeks, so he wasn't very, he didn't just jump and hastily played it. And I agree with what you said about Kamu just kind of being screwed over by it. He had everything kind of perfect. Yash was playing a perfect week. You know, you win HOH, you win veto. You should have a say in what happens, and then you just don't. So that really sucked for Yash. Sucked for Kamu. I'm hoping that as he leaves the house, because like maybe I'm like kind of misinterpreting here. At least on the surface, from what I've seen on the show, Kamu seemed like he was perfect for the show. Like, very much the type of player that they want in the house playing the game. On the surface, he also didn't seem like that horrible of a person. Like, he did a lot of things that I did not like, and I'm like, okay, clearly this guy is deep-rooted, got some deep-rooted shit going on in him. But on the surface, I'm like, he seemed like a nice guy. Like, if you watched the TV show and didn't watch the live feeds, Kamu seems perfectly fine human being. But when you know all the things that we know and all the things that he said and like how he treated Jason specifically in the house, you're like, I don't really know if Kamu's that great of a guy just in life. So I was happy to see him go for that reason. I'm hoping that he gets the luxury of getting out and seeing himself on the show, which I think for a person like Kamu could be beneficial, but also could not be beneficial. We'll see if he even like notices his patterns and the things that he does. But I'm hoping that he because like one thing that I watched some of his exit press, one thing that I really noticed is that he kept saying like, yeah, when I see Jason on finale night, and I'm like, honestly, I hope once you see all the things that people said and the things that you did, you actually approach Jason to see him before finale night because you have so much time to reconcile and make that right before the show. You're off the show now. You have nothing but time. And I honestly think if you wait till finale night, that shows what type of human being you actually are. And you have the time to just kind of reconcile now and kind of just take accountability for the things you did, the things you said. Some of the stuff, like the tea party, was just so unnecessary. Bottom line, it sucks for me to see that like now our girls Lala, Taylor, and Yash, our boy, is stuck in the house by themselves with no real protection against basically everyone else. So that sucks, and that's kind of why I wanted Kamo to stay. But yes, good riddance.
And like, what are you gonna do for the next 50 days not addressing it?
Yeah, just address it. Just address it. You got time. Honestly, like, that's why I'm saying, like, if he is really the stand-up guy that the show is, like, try to edit him to be, make it right. I don't know what you have to do. Maybe it won't even help, but, like, you have the time. You have the platform. Make it right. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you and Jason make some content. Have a tea party of your own where you just air out your grievances and we get something out of it. I don't know. You probably will make a lot of money from that anyway. So just do it. Make a career. I don't know, Kamu. But anyway, moving on for Kamu. Kamu is finally gone. Do you want to tell people who the next HOH is? It came on yesterday, so not a spoiler.
Yeah, our new head of household for the first repeat head of household of the season is D.
We love D. Yay, D.
Like, whatever.
They play that competition, balance beam, who can ring the buzzers the most quickly, or the fastest, I guess, not the most quickly. And Barrett and Melody and Mallory apparently threw the challenge to D. They did not want to win. So
it's just so dumb. I mean, we're a week out from jury starting hypothetically, and you're gonna put your game in someone else's hands. How are you feeling so confident after Kamu almost wasn't sent out? The entire game almost flipped, and that was your fault. It was Mallory and Melody's fault that was happening. How are you not feeling like maybe I should solidify some power finally for the first time in the game? Mm-hmm. How are you not going to this competition? How are you letting D win?
It's so interesting to me because I think we should rename FAP, fuck ass people, to flop ass people. All four of them. I am fucking sick of them. I agree with you. Why would you just let D win, number one? I think D and the icons have proven time and time. I can't even blame the icons for the steamroll that they're doing at this point because it's no longer their fault. It's like people like Barrett and like Drew. And honestly, now Mallory and Melody are getting roped in. They're just walking all over you guys, and you guys just keep letting it happen over and over and over and over and over again. It's ridiculous. It's crazy to see on TV.
Yeah, they really are flops. And yeah, none of them win any comps. None of them do anything. Mallory won a couple. Congrats, Mallory. I guess they're winning America's favorites, so there's that. But that doesn't get you anything if you're not winning any powers or using any powers.
Yeah. Clearly the show didn't give you guys shit. I think that should show you a lot. I'm sorry. They gave Devins a Diamond Power Pedo, and Drew, you got the Never Not Pass. I think that would tell me a lot. I'm sorry. I'd rather not win. It's crazy. What was I going to say about
stupid
this whole thing? Even this thing where, like, I feel like with Drew and Barrett, particularly these two people, and Devins and Angela led the charge to get Haley to nominate Drew. Drew was all but going home. Before that, he won the blockbuster. If he was sitting next to Melody, he would have went home over Melody. I don't know if he doesn't know that. I know that everyone else in the house knows that. So it's baffling me that how that has not gotten back to him, how he has not internalized that. Great. We get another time. This time, D puts Drew on the block. Is it not clear to you yet where they don't trust you, Drew? They have never trusted you. They've always wanted you out of the house. Devin's even thought about, what if I just put Drew for the Diamond Power Veto? If I want to keep my relationship with Kamu and Yash, and if Yash and Kamu stay this week, I can move forward with them. Like Drew, I just don't. As students of the game, honestly, is making me like embarrassed to like be a Big Brother fan and like root for players who are fans of the game. I'm at this point, I'm like, honestly, cast people who don't know how to play, because we got these fucking flop ass people who came in the house saying they know how to play, could write a book on Big Brother, and just is not playing the game. Like, Barrett is just furniture. Like, he's just sitting there. He's just there.
Nothing.
Everything he does, I'm like, you don't protect your allies, you don't speak up, you don't win power, you don't win. Like, you tell us that Taylor did nothing, and Barrett, you have not won a single thing this entire season.
Unreal.
Anyway, that's my soapbox for the week. That's my first one for the week. I'll probably get on another one soon.
Yeah, it's one of those weeks. One of those weeks of just like all of these people being so dumb.
Mm-hmm. So D is initially thinking about Yash, Taylor, and Lala.
Mhm.
Awkward as her 3 nominees. Naturally, it makes sense. Like, I think from just a game perspective, and we'll talk about all the other intricacies. But like, there are 3 people who aren't working with the 8-person Moshpit out of 11 people in the house. So of course, those are going to be the 3 people that she's thinking of putting up. But I will say, like, I was impressed with D this week by kind of getting the most out of this bribe that we said was the worst power. Like, I'm like, this is dumb. She's not going to be able to do anything with that. But she comes up with the idea, maybe with the help of Devins too, I can't remember, to offer Yash a deal. And the reason why she's offering Yash a deal is because she can go back on her word, but he can't go back on his. So it's like, bind it. That she'll offer him $5,000 if the next time he wins HOH, he does not put not just herself, but not Devins and not Angela on the block. Like, they're untouchable the next time he wins HOH. And that's great for D. I think it's horrible for Yash. I think it's horrible.
Insane. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yash can't win another HOH because if he wants what he wants to have happen in the game, he can't win. It can't be him. He has to let any of his allies or anybody else try to take the shot. And
I almost am going to say he needs to win so he can just get it out of the way, because otherwise you're going to be like, I'm thinking, like, if Yash doesn't win HOH for the next, like, it's just going to be impossible. Honestly, I feel like the game will be broken in a sense, in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, it may get to the point where it's like, the final 5 and it's 3 icons and Yash and, Melody, and he has to nominate Melody and one of the icons just because of the mathematics of who's left in the game. It feels like that might be where we get to with him. Like, it makes sense for the icons, the vets, to keep him in the game now because they know that he's a free safety week for them, essentially. He's like a built-in ally for 1 week. And then they can get rid of him after that. He doesn't want to. So, that happening makes me think that he wouldn't want to win so that they're keeping him around because he would keep them around. But it makes you powerless in the game. It just makes you a floater floating to the end, and you have, no control over it the rest of the season. So, you got to win, take matters into your own hands, eliminate somebody that would be your friend, and possibly alienate other people to then go against another side of the house. Like, it's just such an L. But I can't even fault him for it. Like, is it
what
really
else could you do?
bad?
Like, D is like, gun to his head, like, take this deal or I'm gonna put you up on the block this week and you're probably gonna go home.
And he could still go. You could still go up. Like, he could say no, or he could, he could say no or this deal not go off this way, and he would still go on the block. I don't think he'd trust any of these people. He doesn't trust the survivors whatsoever. So I don't know why, this deal would make him trusty anymore.
It seems like that deal, it may be, again, like, maybe it questions the mechanics of a power like this. Is that really, like, I feel like there should be like a rule against like such a big deal. It'll be like, don't put me up for the rest of the season. And it's like, that doesn't really work in the mechanics of this game. And obviously I do think like there's probably some like loopholes. Like, I even thought like, okay, well, maybe he can't nominate me, but does that count as a renomination? Like, potentially, like, they could say like, actually, no, they're 2 separate nomination ceremonies. So like, he can't initially nominate you, but like, and I'm sure there's some rule book that they're following, whatever. But yeah, Yash was kind of damned if he did and damned if he didn't. Good for Yash. I think like it bought him this week. Like I think he probably would have been on the block come eviction night, and he's been able to not touch the block since week 1, so that's great for him. But it does make me think like longevity wise, and this is why I'm like I think the way out of it is to win as soon as possible because you have options to choose from currently. Like he is not vibing with Drew and Barrett. He's not vibing. I mean, he's vibing a little bit with Melody and Mallory, but like you have them as an option right now. You could just win HOH next week and nominate Drew, Barrett, Melody. One of them wins, you put up Haley, and then now you have 3 people on the block. You're not working with any of them, and you're okay with all 3 of them going home. And you are also open to now go after whoever you want in the game. Like, so that's my thought process. I think the more numbers will go down. I think what would suck is then if now the numbers go down and down and down and down, and then he has to nominate Lala and Taylor. So then that would suck to me.
Yeah, that'd be even worse.
Yeah. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm like, actually, Yash, just win next week. You have options. You're not working with these people. You're sick of Drew and Barrett as well. Just do it. Have them one of your targets. Barrett's probably not going to win anyway. And just take him out. Like, just take him out before jury, apparently. I don't know when, at this point, I'm like, when is jury starting? At 9, I think. But we'll see. So yeah, those are my thoughts about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to tell people who Dee decides to nominate? Like what was her? She shifts her thoughts.
Yeah, so she makes this deal with Yash, and so she's like, okay, so I probably don't need to put Yash up anymore. So I probably need to find a third person to put up with Taylor and Lala. And since Haley has been tried to be like grouped in, especially by Angela and Dee over the last week, kind of as like an unlikable goat character to work with. Doesn't really want to put Haley up, so that goes to nominating one of the fuck-ass people, because of course Devins and Angela are off limits. And Dee goes right back to not really having any trust with Drew, just as many other people in the house have said, that he is bringing information to both sides. He is not really playing for anybody but himself. He keeps showing up in the middle. So Dee decides that the third nominee should be Drew. So the final nominees are Lala, Taylor, and Drew.
Lala, Taylor, and Drew. Actually, I was surprised that she nominated Drew. I wonder, there's like an obsession this season that I don't think I've ever seen on Big Brother, where people just need a reason. Like, I need a reason to nominate you. I can't just nominate him because that's what I want to do. So Dee also does this thing where she brings up Yash into the HOH room with the Moshpit, and she's basically like, Yash, tell them what you told me. And Yash is like, I wasn't the one saying that the icon should go up. It was Drew. Drew mentioned Devin's name specifically. And Yash puts a little bit of like, he even said, like, I'm lying. I'm literally lying right now. I want Drew to be on the block so bad that I'm willing to lie about it to his face and just to see what he does. And honestly, he reads Drew like a book because Drew just folds and just like accepts
Instantly.
it. Like, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Like,
and it's not even the truth. Like
he's not even the truth.
Yash is like making up these lies and is trying to spin it his way, and Drew's like, yeah, I guess that's right.
And mind you, the biggest thing that for me is like Melody, Mallory, Barrett, you were all present, and you just also didn't back up your ally. You just didn't say anything. And great for Yash. Honestly, I was like, okay, Yash, I see. You're like, fuck it. I'm boss of the wall. I'm going to say what I want to say. And who's going to do anything about it? Definitely not Drew. And that's why they're flop ass people. They're flop ass people to their core. And obviously, I think Dee actually believed Drew. But again, she wanted to use this as a reason to put him up in general. So she just needed a reason. So it didn't look as bad to Melody, Mallory, and Barrett when she said his name, which I guess like you're covering your bases as HOH. And she also said something last week that, you know, she's not dumb. She's going into the mosh pit 4 against 7 or 4 against 3. she's not gonna let them overtake her. Like that's not gonna happen. So she wanted to have some contingencies in her game moving forward. So she nominates them, and then I guess Drew decides to make like a full statement of like, you say I can't claim a side. I'm not working with Taylor, Lala, and Yash. I'm not working with them. I've never worked with them. Like, just kind of made a performance at our nomination ceremony, which has been a trend also this season to kind of make it like a show. And I guess like, do you know much about it? How do you feel? Because I'm like, in a way, Drew's not necessarily wrong. I think like he wasn't. Honestly, I don't think Drew has been, at least from what I've seen, like very like he hasn't lied about much here. But it's just like, why are we going about things this way and like basically burning a bridge with Taylor, Lala, and Yash completely? No, going forward for no reason really, because you got nominated by your ally.
Yeah, I think he knows that the most of the power in the house is with Dee and Devins, and I think that maybe part of this is a little bit of just like succumbing to the powers that be. But it's a really confusing move to say, you know what, I'm just gonna lay down my life for these people and hope they keep me this week.
Mm-hmm. And like the worst part is that they're not even 100% sure if they are gonna keep you this week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that I just why do you feel so safe? If they're willing to put you up, they're willing to send you home. I think that's a good rule. If anyone's watching, you want to play Big Brother one day, if you want to play orgs, if someone is willing to put you up for elimination, they're willing for you to go home. Period.
Peace.
If you don't want them to go, you're not going to put them up, because there's always a possibility if you're one of the nominations that you can go home. No one's ever safe. There's no such thing as a untouchable pawn. Like, pawns go home, targets go home, and secondary targets go home. And honestly, even if you're not on the block, your ally wins HOH and your ally wins veto, there could also be a fucking diamond power veto to put you on the block too. And you could also, like, no one is ever safe in these games. So I don't know what makes him be so comfortable. I honestly, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I don't get it either. Yeah, it's mind boggling. He's playing terribly right now. I don't understand his strategy.
Yeah. Still not the worst in the house, but like
worst.
But definitely not great. And like I want to defend you so bad. Like I want to like root for him, like, because he is so root forable, or like rootable. I don't know how to, whatever the word. You want to root for him, but he just every week you're like, well, never mind. Mind. Like the fat ass people, the fuck ass people. You want to root for all four of them, but I'm just like, at this point, like I don't even think any of you deserve to win the game. Like, based on how you play the game, even if you made it to the end, I would be like, the icons kind of outplayed you. So like, you don't deserve to win. I'm sorry. So we'll see what happens with that. I can't tell where this season is kind of headed. So next, we kind of talked about it before we started the episode. One of the big topics this week, week 7, has been, I named it BB microaggressions, but like, just the like blatant, I want to say blatant racism, but just like the isolation of seemingly the only 2 women of color in the house, particularly 2 Black women, I guess, because Dee is also of Latin descent. And it's just something that's been like kind of shown to us in little bursts, little things. But this week it just feels like full on like, nope, this is what's happening now. And we're all kind of like going according to it. So like, I think Lala and Taylor specifically it's just very clear to me the way that people talk about them, the way that people talk to them, the things that they do to them. And it actually reminds me of Jason playing the game, actually. Like, it's very reminiscent of this. People just talk, it's just very different. Very, very, very different. And I think it's worth the conversation between us two, just like, honestly, candidly too, like, why? Like, why is this happening? Why do we keep seeing this like season after season as well? Like, I feel like this is constantly happening in the Big Brother house. Like, why does race always come up in a game?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a deep question for sure. And I would even say something as long as the lines of like, we just played an org last year. Well, we didn't play, but like we were part of an org that race didn't come up in this big of a way, obviously not at all. But also it was a conversation of like, if you look at the pattern of voter and then like how people got out of the game, like there's kind of a trend when there's already a minority in like the game, and you know, people got voted out kind of back to back to back to back. Why is that happening? Is it, you know, it could be just like a coincidence. But when you're watching it on TV and like the pattern is just kind of like showing over and over and over again of like I feel like, and people have said it for weeks now, they talk about Taylor like it's their full-time job. Like
It's
all
crazy.
of them, every time she's out of the room, they talk about her in very negative ways. There's never anything positive. They go back and forth on she has winner written all over her. She's gonna win this game. To she's lazy. She doesn't do anything in this house. She just sits in her bed. Mind you, we see 24-hour feeds. We see Taylor playing the game, so it's not true. And also like the fact that you think just because she's not playing the game with you means she's not playing the game. The number one, you're not even playing the game with her, so how could you assume that she's not playing the game? She's kind of just playing the cards that she's been dealt. Like you literally saw her sat in the HOH room the last 2 weeks, like with the HOH coming up with a plan to vote people out. She's a big reason why Icons hit the block last week. She was a big reason why the red corner was, you know, the target the week before. So I just don't understand where these like thoughts are coming from.
Yeah. And what I also think is so crazy is they're comparing Taylor to, you know, other past players, calling her Ashley and Chelsea and Tiffany, 3 players that are so extremely different.
Yeah.
The only thing that's similar is that they're Black women.
They said Daniel Reyes too.
Not even like being hidden.
Yeah, it's not. And I guess I can't understand. And I would love for your perspective on this, because I think like obviously we're like very two different people. But to me, like if I was on a TV show being watched 24/7, I would be very cognizant about what I'm saying. Like even if it's how I thought, I'd be like, okay, guys, like
yeah,
I'm just gonna throw Vanessa Russo in there, just so we're not like strong women players, like in general. Like it's never gonna be like, and that's like what I don't understand. And this is why it goes back to like, I think Big Brother, even though they try to edit the show, we see everything. Someone like Devin, someone like D benefits from the edit, because like we're seeing, like I saw a conversation about Devin's making a joke about Taylor selling fried chicken. Like that was the joke that he made to the group. And it was like, this is not, or like Drew saying, what did he say about Lala and Taylor? He said, I hope it's hide and go veto, but we got to keep Taylor and Lala so they can clean the house. It's just like little, and it's like, again, if it's just one little thing here and there, fine. But like, it's kind of like, it's just building up and happening over and over again. And also like, I'm not saying any of these people are racist. I don't even want to put that narrative out there. I think that in reality, like what probably is they're kind of ignorant. I think that's probably the better word for them. I think like Drew specifically, I've seen him say so many things about Taylor this week, and like kind of over like, or like one thing that happens a lot with Black people specifically is like being called aggressive. Like they're so aggressive. They're so aggressive. They're so aggressive. And sure, has Taylor confronted people very face to face about things? 100% yes. She was. She has. She did. Whatever. Has anything that Taylor has done been as big as Angela screaming at Haley, saying, fuck you, bitch, blah, 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 blah? Not even close. Not even like 50%. Like, so I'm like, what is the difference between Angela being able to go off completely? You hear it in every room on the live feed, but they cut it out so you can't see it. To Taylor being like, hey, Drew, did you touch my stuff? I'm just asking. Oh, okay. And walking away. What is the difference? Because I guess I don't understand. Like, how is that aggressive, but then Angela's not aggressive?
Yeah. Angela gets the pass.
Or Haley too. Haley is very aggressive. Haley is very to your face, says what she wants. I would even say Melody is very aggressive. Like the things that she says, she's not scared to just say how she feels. And not saying aggressive is bad, but like They are. They're very outspoken people.
Yeah. They're not being looked at the same way.
I guess like moving forward for Taylor and Lala, because like it made me feel like how I felt about Jason, and I guess like I don't want to even say it, but I'll say it because it's whatever. But Jason ended up losing the Blockbuster and going home, and I remember talking to you, and I'm saying like at this point, like honestly, is it bad if Jason goes home? Like to be honest, like he seems like he's going through a lot. He seems like he's
Mhm.
on Lonely Island. He doesn't have anyone in the house. Therefore, like it might be more mentally like I would think it's probably really mentally daunting being around a
Yeah.
bunch of people who you don't who clearly don't like you, and the season is not nearly over, so many weeks to go, and I just have to deal with it. And to be honest, if I stay 2 more weeks, I'm gonna be stuck with them for the rest of the summer. Despite and honestly, not even being recorded if I go to the jury house. Who knows what happens in there? I would kind of want to go home, to be honest.
I think Taylor talks about it a lot, like in like the last week, especially on feeds, like talking about like needing to pull through and continue to push through and continue to do the code switching she's been doing all season, because that's what it takes to win. And I think she's like really feeling a kick right now, and I think it's a kick that is a bummer because she probably doesn't need it. Nobody needs this, but she's just kind of being like reawoken to that fact that these folks have a lot of implicit biases, and they're acting on them, especially with all this power. I mean, especially with the icons, there hasn't really been a week where they've been too nervous about getting eliminated. Even with Yash being in power, they knew that they had the veto and that everything would be fine. And I think this, it goes back to the entire season. When Yash was nominated and was the target week 1, he was the house pariah. Nobody was talking to him. He was screwed. We were talking about Yash like he was a chicken with his head cut off week
Yeah,
1.
I didn't even draft him, and I regret it. I
Yeah.
regret it. I go on record. I regret it.
And then Rome, week 2, it's like, handshake, like good game, all above the table, totally normal. Week 3, Jason immediately becomes the house pariah, target, outcasted. Lyric is treated okay, Kamu's treated okay, and we're, back to a person of color being targeted, and immediately they're on the outside of the house again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pattern we've seen the whole season.
Yeah,
They're all
and
they're all
it
complicit in acting
sucks.
like this, and no one really speaks up against it.
Mm-hmm. And it really sucks to me because like I said, like I don't necessarily think these people are racist. Like I just, I think sometimes like we can jump to like really large. Is it what they're doing racist? Yes, 100%. I think it's the behavior, not the person. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily maybe Kamu, yes, because we saw some things on Twitter outside of the game that like maybe pointed to that. But like truthfully, it's the behavior, it's not the person. I think the thing that like people have been saying a lot, which I've been like, honestly, maybe I agree. Do you think there's a point where like the show steps in and say like, this is unacceptable. We gotta move on past this. Like we gotta let's move on, basically. Like
I think they already have. We already aren't hearing as much discussion around Taylor in the last day.
mhm,
So
good.
it's something that has been then rightfully, stepped in about and talked to about. I think that it's a conversation that needs to happen. And I'm sure we will see it on the episode this week. And if we don't, that sucks.
Yeah. One thing I will say too before we move on as well, I think, and it reminds me of you actually, because I think having that background that Taylor has to being able to talk to people and kind of like just like counsel people, like being like, okay, how can I get pass to this person in a way that's effective? I'm not shucking my feelings, but I'm also being generous and kind of level set with you. And she had this conversation with Haley, and it was after all the fighting and all the like bumping heads, and like Taylor was very frustrated the day before, rightfully so. But she did come around. I was like, okay, and I think it's very indicative to like sometimes you just have to be the person, even though you're being the ostracized, isolated one, you still have to be the bigger person. So she goes to Haley and she's like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about last night. I think that me and you should have a conversation because there are some topics that are gonna come up that I don't think you will like. Therefore, I want you to be able to defend them. I want you to be able to, and she was trying to talk in code, of course, like she knows that people are watching, but she's like, I want you to be able to defend them. I don't necessarily think you're a bad person, but there's some things that you've done that I can't get past. So like, I want you to be able to talk about them right now here with me and you. And Haley's like, I'm tired of the drama. I can't deal with it. Like, what you're talking in code? Is that a threat? People are not gonna like me after the conversations you're having. And I'm like, Haley, I just can't with her. But like, I just want to commend Taylor for just being like the bigger person and like giving Haley the opportunity at least to kind of defend herself. And like, because like, again, like a lot of these are like implicit. They're not thinking about them. They're not being conscious about them. But like, I think it's very generous for a person of color to be like, hey, let's talk about this because this is how you make me feel. Care to elaborate? And I will tell you why that makes me feel this way. And you just kind of completely shut off the conversation. That's so shitty. Like, Haley, you're just not getting it. And it makes me sad for her because I think, yeah, it's going to follow her for sure.
Haley's on a fast track to, at least don't see why you wouldn't take her to the end at this point. She is so horrible to be around, it seems like, in the house. She is terrible strategically. She is offering to be evicted, to use the power of veto on other people. Why would you not take her to the end at this point? She poisons every conversation she has.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't know how to play. When she is playing, she's not very good. She doesn't know how to talk to people. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, sounds like a goat to me.
Congratulations. Congratulations on the finale appearance fee, Haley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Haley. Hey, Thog. Call her
Fog.
Thog. Yeah, yay, Thog. I do want to play before we move on this conversation with Lala and Taylor. It's from the live feeds because I really liked it and it like resonated with me personally. Just because I think as much crap, and we talked a lot about Taylor, but like people equally talk about Lala in the house as well. Like and I think like the ageism, the racism, like it is all prevalent even in a different way. But like I will say, like Lala is the type of person that I will want to have my back in the house if I was going through something like that, or if like something like that was happening, because she just is so and I'm glad Lala has Taylor in there. And this actually I want Taylor to stay because I think she has Lala and Lala has her, and they both have Yash, and I think the three of them can get through it all together. So this is the clip that Lala and Taylor's kind of going through it here.
A young, educated Black woman. And people are watching you. And they're getting hope from you. In this horrible place, around these horrible people, playing this horrible freaking game. I've learned so much from you already. And I know if I learn from you, people who are watching learn from you, people in this house learn from you, and you have so much more to share. And I don't want you to give up like that. That's like people getting to the Red Sea and stopping and not going through. There's so much more on the other side. And you just gotta get through this day. That's it. Get through this day. And I can only speak from experience because I know how it feels to just be ready to go home. I'm just like, let me just go home and forget about it. I can be home sitting in my backyard enjoying the summer. But I prayed to get here and I asked God, I said, Lord, please, 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 let me get out there. Please, please, please. And he answered our prayers. So I think you have a responsibility. I know you have a responsibility. So move past these tears. Get out of this anger. And do what you do best. Teach. Lead and guide. Don't let them win. Because that's what you're doing, you're letting them win. Don't let them steal your joy. Because you're stronger than that. And you know you are. I get out of here. I'm not going to ever talk about this ever again in my life. That's what it feels like. But isn't that what the social experience is supposed to do? It's supposed to break you down, right? Don't let it break you down, Taylor. Don't let it break you down, Mama.
All right. That's kind of the bulk of the conversation. But I saw that and I was like, that's also something I hope they include on the episode. Because you just need that person. And I really am happy that Taylor and Lala have been able to be each other's person in the house. Whether they talk about each other. I mean, you're with someone for 45 days straight. they were my mom or my sister would irritate me as well, and I'd probably talk a
Yeah.
little shit just to kind of keep
Yeah.
myself calm. But you can tell their relationship, and I actually think this conversation was probably a big reason why Taylor went the next day to be like, "Hey, Haley, let's talk. I want to teach you. I want to inform you. I want to give you this piece of nugget of information because I don't want to leave this like this." And so props to Lala, and I'm happy to see her on TV. And I think Lala is such a dynamic person and character. And as much crap that people talk about Lala, like she doesn't know how to play. She blah blah blah. She's really honestly like not doing so hot, or she's not doing so bad in the game.
She's doing fine.
Speaking of, we have a veto, and Lala wins a veto. Crazy. I was so happy to see that. She's won 2 more competitions than Barrett. Take that. But she wins the veto, and obviously she's going to use it on herself. Now Dee has to name a replacement nominee. And who should she target? Mallory. Yeah, let's get her out. So obviously, today this happened. She nominated Mallory, and obviously FAP is pissed. They're upset. Flop ass people are not excited. They're not happy. But one thing that I will point out to say is that Dee asked Barrett how he felt about her nominating Mallory, and he all but said, "Yeah, whatever you want. Like, just yeah, if that's what you want. Like, I'll support you 100%. But then goes to Mallory and pretends to be upset with her when he knew that she was gonna get nominated. How do you feel about Mallory being the replacement nominee? Like, did it surprise you, or you're like, yep, makes sense?
If Drew, Barrett, and Melody do not wake up from this and realize that, like, it should be Yash. Like, if they are move past this week without the thoughts of the connections to the icons that are over, they are in the Hall of Fame for the stupidest players in the history of the game. Because at this point, like, what else do you need? You are in this alliance. There's one person outside of the alliance, and they are now not being nominated. The person that just put up D last week is not being nominated. What the hell are you thinking? Like, it just is. It's crazy to me. And Barrett is folding left and right all day yesterday and today, just being like, yeah, D, I guess I'll just do exactly what you tell me to. I can't go against you, D. And Drew is like, well, like totally screwed either way, because he's stuck on the block with Mallory now, and Melody she's got nobody.
Yep.
Her closest allies are on the block. It's time to move on.
Make sense.
It's time to move on.
To quote Poet Laureate Taylor, Drew and Barrett's head are so far up the icon's ass, they don't even know what shit smells like anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me that D would do this, by the way. So nothing towards D for doing that. Actually, it makes sense. It makes sense for her to do it, specifically because we know the deal that she made with Yash. But when I'm watching the live feeds and I see Mallory say, next week, if I win HOH, I'm not going to put D up to show her how loyal I am.
What?
And D's going to try to bribe me, and I'm going to say, you can offer me $750,000 to put you on the block because that's how loyal I am.
And, like, she's trying to fight to stay right now, but, like, God, I really hope that this switches. I really hope that she doesn't mean this.
Well, she was talking to Melody, so.
Yeah, true.
It just baffles me. Like, I don't understand. And again, like we've said it since week 1. Big Brother's best when like it switches, like the power switching, things are going back and forth. I think at this point, again, I don't necessarily know if I could blame the icons for just rolling the game. I actually would blame the dumb people in the house for letting them. And granted, Yash did try, but honestly, I'm putting Yash, Taylor, and Lala in that too, because to be honest, Lala should have put them up the week that she was HOH. I hate how we've seen so many times where like, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, no. if you're gonna talk about it and you have power, you need to do
Do it.
it because then information gets around. You get Barrett and Drew able to go and like spend these narratives. When in reality, if you wanted to target Devins, you should have just did it that week. And sure, Taylor might have went up, but guess what? If you put them next to the other two icons, Taylor's not gonna go home next to them. So it's just like silly. And then the next week, again, like talking about decisions and how they inform. Okay, you put Devins up, he used the power, whatever. Put Taylor up, Taylor stays, maybe an icon goes home. The next week, Devins wouldn't have had the diamond power veto. So then you could have just did it again. So it's like you need to, I get that we want to plan, and this is my problem with Melody and Mallory too. You want to plan, you want to be like, oh, I want to win down the line, but it's like you need to win now because the game is only so long. Like you can't just say tomorrow, because as you're not playing, someone is playing, and you have these seasoned people in the house who are fucking playing the game. They're playing you guys. They got you wrapped around their fucking fingers. You're doing all of their bidding. They don't even have to work bringing all the information that Dee could possibly need to make her decisions. You're not even making it hard for them, and it's your fault. It's not their fault. It's your fault.
They got all the momentum and all the power, and no one's really attempted to try and shift that.
Mm-hmm.
Except Yash. Yash tried. Yash really did try.
He tried, and now he can't even try again. He can't even try again.
And that's what you get for trying.
And that's what you get for trying. So going into Thursday with Taylor, Mallory, and Drew on the block, seems like Mallory is the clear target. Like if Mallory sits on the block, she might go home. Maybe. There's one scenario that I'm like, I'm not so sure that this is what it seems. But so if Mallory versus Taylor, surprisingly Mallory goes home. I like kind of try to predict like who everyone vote for, but all the icons will vote for Mallory, and then Lala and Yash will vote for Mallory too, and then the rest of FAP, so Drew, Melody, and Bear will vote for Taylor. Obviously, they don't have the votes to keep Mallory. Next scenario, if Taylor and Drew are on the block, I do think Taylor's 100% going home. Like, I think everyone but Lala and Yash will vote for her. And that's just kind of a done deal. But the scenario that I was like, actually, like, so it seems like in the house, D is functioning that if it's Mallory versus Drew, Mallory will be evicted. But I'm like, I don't actually think that would happen. Because obviously Taylor, Yash, and Lala will vote for Drew. Like they're done with them. All three of them are finished with them. Melody, I can't see her voting for Mallory, so that's another vote for Drew. I guess I could see Barrett maybe flipping, but I actually think Barrett will vote Drew out over Mallory.
Barrett did promise his vote to Drew.
He promised?
Yeah.
I guess. So then it'll be a tie, and then D will break it, and Mallory goes. Yeah, I guess if that's the case, then sure, then Mallory goes here too. But like, weren't they like flirting around, Barrett and Mallory? Like, weren't they kind of a thing?
Yeah, but remember Barrett trying to kiss D like a month or a week ago? That guy's just trying to get something, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
I saw this video today where she told him that she was gonna put up Mallory, and he like laid on top of her, and she's like, oh, like, and I'm like, oh, Barrett.
Gross.
Barrett. All right. Going into the rankings of the players this week. Oh, Barrett. I think it's clear to say, I think we just lump. I think the icons are just sitting on top of the house. I don't think there's any real. I think with this deal with Yash, I think Yash probably had a good chance of winning next HOH. I think they're sitting pretty, at least for another week. I can see all three of them making it into the jury house, unless someone else wins HOH, like a Taylor, like a Lala, and puts all three of them up. Maybe Yash could pass it to one of them if it's like Yash against Taylor, final two, or Lala, whatever. But I don't really see any of them leaving anytime soon.
I think it's like D and Devins, Angela down here, just in terms of like power. But like they're definitely like it's all three of them. But I don't think Angela has as much staying power. I think D's a bigger threat. I think Devins is the most positioned, but like they're all killing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Do
they
you
got
think?
like running around in circles.
I was gonna say, do you think that? So, I guess one thought I had was that Angela got a very clear show of how close Dee and Devins are.
Yes.
At some point, does she question to flip on them to actually be the one in power? Is that ever gonna cross her mind at some point, or is she just gonna? Because again, Angela is also a vet, and I will say, like, Angela hasn't really put her foot on the pulse at all this season. Like, I think people may like her, and I actually think if she made it to the final two, she would have an argument of winning from a social like point, but like from a strategic and challenge point, she doesn't really have it to back it up. So I'm like, does she turn on them at some point? I hope so.
I don't know. I don't know if Angela. I don't know if she flips. I wonder who she flips to, because she's not ever going to work with Lala and Taylor. I don't think that that's in the realm of possibility.
I can see her working with Lala specifically. I don't know if she'll work with Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah, because her and Lala have always had this like, we're the moms of the house.
Yeah.
Like this whole season. And like they've been working on different sides, but they never been like against each other explicitly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess she could flip to that side. I just don't see why she does that, because she's such an emotional player. And despite her playing with her emotions, I think because she isn't on the bottom this season the whole time, it's just like it hasn't been as big of a game-changing thing for her to blow up, because she doesn't really need to like blow up with direction. She just needs to have her little meltdowns and then move on, hopefully.
Yeah, she's in such a good spot that she can have a meltdown and she'll be perfectly fine the next day, which probably feels great to her. She's like,
yeah,
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And she did win a challenge. I have to give her that. The
Mhm.
blockbuster win was clutch because, like, I think people were thinking that maybe if Angela was on the block come the eviction, they could vote her out if they wanted to. So it was a clutch win for her, too. Number 4, Haley. It's weird that she's moved into this, like, middle position. I never thought I would see it. I thought she would always be on the bottom, but, like, the icons want her. I mean, Taylor did want her, but I don't think she wants her anymore. But like, she's kind of like, or it's kind of like Haley is kind of going to be a big decider of a lot that's going to happen in the next few weeks. And like, to potentially, like, people could want to take her out because she's going to be in such a middle position. But if people are just willing to just look past her, I agree. She might be like, oh, I'm a final 2.
Really think she is going anywhere? I don't think she's going to do anything. She is an immovable mass in the Big Brother house because nobody wants to waste their time to throw it out.
Honestly, at this point, she probably don't even win anything. Just chill. Just shut up, basically.
They know she can.
Yeah.
Like they're keeping her around because they know she can win things. If she doesn't have to win things and continues to keep the heat off, maybe she can socially position herself well. Big ask for a woman like her, but
Yeah.
it's a way to the end.
It's a way to the end. All right, number 5, Yash. I think it's like weird because I think the deal with D bought him time in the game for sure. Like, I think again, as long as he doesn't win HOH, he might stick around because he's kind of locked into that. But it's not really a long-term deal that's going to benefit him because none of the icons are really benefiting him in the game. So I feel like he's kind of in a terrible position. Like, number 5 is fine along the cast, but like, he's just kind of so limited right now. And I don't know if that's a good position to be when the game is in flux. And we'll talk about something in a bit, but like, you're not going to have a lot of options, basically. Number 6, Drew. I will say, as much shit as I can talk about Drew, he is very central to almost everything that's been happening in the whole season. Like, I feel like he's been very much an integral part and like kind of a conductor of the chaos. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, I don't know how to describe it because everyone knows, but they just let him get away with it. And yeah, only thing I could say about Drew is that, like, if he's not careful, like, I could see people wanting to get rid of him because I actually think that Haley might vote out Drew over Mallory as well because she's been having her sights set on him for a while. And she's kind of the one that put the idea of Mallory going up to D. And I think I saw like a self live feed moment where she's like, I was thinking, who does Drew go home next to? Then she said Mallory. So potentially that can mean that Drew is in trouble and he just doesn't realize it, especially if he doesn't win the blockbuster and Taylor does. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think Drew has a higher % chance of leaving this week than he knows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I think like him and Yash are very similar people, and that's why I just kind of held off on Yash because they're both super loud, super boisterous. I feel like Drew would be as good at winning comps as Yash is. Like they feel very similar in physical build, but Yash has just kind of been able to stand on his own 2 feet and like stand on what he says and his knowledge, where Drew has just been so shifty, telling so many people so many different things and leaking so much that he's getting to the point where he's kind of running out of candle wax.
Yeah. Like he's like playing too hard, too fast, where he doesn't have a lot left. Number 7, I have Lala. I think she's proving, if anything, that she can stay in the game. Like her game is in her own hands. You're not gonna just be able to like send her home whenever you want to. And I think that's how people think of her. But like a second win under her belt, like HOH and now a veto, I think that just proves like she not playing a great strategic game, maybe, but you can't ignore that. Like, to be honest, when it comes down to some of these like crucial wins and she can play in every competition, she might have an edge over some of these people. And we know like another endurance competition is coming up. We know things like that are coming up, and she might edge them out. And if she can put herself in a good position, crazy enough to say Lala might be the one making the shots around here, since Yash can't do it.
Yash or Lala HOH next week would be very, very fun for the game.
It would be.
And her 2 comps are major comps. They're not blockbuster comp wins. I think that's an important distinction. You know, you can like Mallory also has 2 comp wins, but one of them is a blockbuster. You know, that took 2 minutes.
Is she the only? I guess like Devins has a HOH and a veto. I think that's it. No one else has that like at all.
D has 2 HOHs.
D has 2 HOHs.
Haley has an
a
blockbuster.
Haley has an HOH blockbuster. Yash has a HOH and a blockbuster and a veto. So he has 3. Drew
Nada
has one a blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
Melody has 1 shit. Taylor has 1 a
veto.
Mallory has 1 blockbuster veto, and Barrett hasn't won anything either. So Lala's sitting in the top half of the house, so she's doing good. Number 8, I have Melody. She obviously, her allies are kind of in danger this week. I hope they realize that, like, yo, if you have an alliance and 2 of your alliance members end up on the block come eviction night, alliance is not like alliance does that not make that's not alliance.
Yeah, it's no longer an alliance.
So hopefully they realize that. I still put her in the flop ass people category. I mean, she put herself there, but she's just not doing much. I think I like her confessionals. I like her personality, but she's just not doing much in the game. She's not moving the needle any which way. I hate that she's let Barrett and Drew kind of ruin the momentum that her and Mallory could have had. And it just sucks for them. I think it sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. Hearing her talk so much about how she threw the comp has really soured me on her this week. Why are you throwing the balance being HOH comp? I feel like that is always like the show has always put that competition in at a pivotal week. It feels like that is always a week where something important happens. Why? And like it's such an easy one to win. That's such an easy win under your belt. And also, why are you feeling confident with D winning it? Like, you know that D's not taking the 2 icons. That's 2 more spots that could be yours. I don't get it throwing to a vet. I don't understand the throwing of the comps.
And also, why would you want to let them make, even if you're like, I'm Moshpit strong, just to keep my ally safe, you win HOH, you put up Lala, Taylor, Yash as you want it, and you leave it. That's it. You don't have to do any more work past that. You don't have to burn any bridges. You don't have like, if you really are like, I don't want to make any decisions, like you didn't have to. It's kind of out of your made for you. You're in the lines at 8 people when there's 11 people left in the game. Also, red flag. What the fuck do you mean you're in an alliance with 8 people? There's only 11 people left. There's very limited options. And I agree. Like, I think Melody and Mallory kind of irritated me this week because You're throwing a comp, but you've been complaining about how much you've been on the block.
Can't have it both ways.
Yeah, two things cannot exist at the same time. Number 9, my girl, but she's really low on my list, of course, because I just think she's had a rough week. Name her Haley at this point, because her week has been rough. She not only is she like going through it in the game, like being nominated and like potentially going home on Thursday as well, but also people just like point at her and talk about it's just so hard. I think like I'm happy that she's found the new sense of like I want to prove them wrong and like she's gonna stick it out. But like that would be rough to go through. And that's kind of why Big Brother scares me as like a person of like if I didn't like someone, it would be really, really hard for me to be stuck in a house with them 24 hours a day for X amount of time that I don't even know if there's a time limit past the end of the game. So I don't know if there's a big comeback for Taylor's game. Like I've been even thinking like her win equity. I don't know. Like it seems like people just really don't necessarily like her. But then also people also talk about her when she's not there of how much she's a winner, how much she's like all the other Black women who's ever even played the game before, even a little while. So that could be something good for her too. But since there's mixed reviews on how they see her, I find it hard that she's gonna be able to win unless she's able to swing the game back in her favor. And I do think if her, Yash, and Lala can kind of pull off the whatever magic feat they need to, they could maybe. I don't know.
It's gonna take like what double HOHs to get out Devins and D if that works happen the first time, because you don't really need to worry about Angela as much.
Yeah.
But
let Angela stay. And that, honestly, that should be their list. It should be D, Devins, Angela. That should be the order. Honestly, maybe even Devins, D, Angela. Because Devins is sitting too pretty, and yeah, he's just too clever. Next, we got Mallory. I hope she feels very dumb because she threw the HOH, and now they put her on the block. Shocker, someone would put you on the block, even though you're in alliance with them that they made last week, conveniently before the Diamond Power veto was played, so they have numbers, so they can use you the way that they wanted to use them. Crazy thing that will happen in Big Brother. If she doesn't win the blockbuster, she's going home, like 100%. Maybe stays next to Drew, but she just kind of needs to pull out a win here. I think that's the only way that she can guarantee her own safety. I don't have much to say on her, much more, but yeah. The third person on my draft team on the block, by the way. 3 out of 3, all on the block this week.
Let's go. Good week for Donnie's people. Mallory, I mean, classic Big Brother move. You know, you trust your ally so much. Tank your entire game after you tanked your entire game the week before. Classic Big Brother move.
Then last, bottom of my fucking list, Barrett. I don't think Barrett has any intentions on playing his own game. I don't think he has any intentions on saying what he wants. I can say that because he's not even told the audience what he wants. He has not even told the audience like what his motives are. If there was some information, he actually reminds me a lot of Vince, like from last season, where it's like, if in Vince, and I say that in personality, not gameplay, because Vince played a great game. Like he was able to manipulate people and get them to do what they want. I think Barrett is like the anti-Vince of like, I'm gonna get manipulated and do what people want, and I'm gonna have no pushback on it. You want to vote out Drew, my number one ally? Well, I guess that's how it's gonna be. I'm not even gonna tell him. You want to put Mallory on the block? Sure. I was working with her this whole time. I'm the reason why she even got close to you. But no worries. Like, put her up if you want to. Are we gonna kiss? No? Okay. Whatever. We can try again next time. Like, that's Barrett. And I'm just so sick of him. Honestly, I wish he could go home this week.
Yeah, me too. I wish he would, I don't know, get a special eviction. Eviction night just for Barrett. And it happens on any day, the closest day to now, preferably. Get him out of it.
Tonight. They're going to be like, anyone over 6'5" has to actually go for safety reasons. So, Barrett, you have to go home.
1000th episode special. Barrett is immediately evicted.
Speaking of the 1000th episode, I think that's another thing that obviously the house and I mean Angela kind of knows. Like there's something coming up because in her season there was a mid-season twist that happened on this exact week, Janky World. But
Janky World.
with the twist coming up, what do you think it can be? Like, they said it's not going to be like the split house twist or the Janky World twist. Nothing that the show's seen before. What could it be? I don't know.
I've been doing some thinking about it. I have a couple ideas. It could be something very stupid. It could be something very small. It could be, whatever. Like, they all get like to see they all get to leave the house for a day. Like I'm thinking something like that. Like they leave the studio and like get to experience the real world for like, I don't know, 6 hours or something. That would be crazy if the Big Brother house stopped being the Big Brother house for a little bit. But in terms of gameplay, like if there was like an actual gameplay thing, I think a lot of people have been talking about like a Survivor Week, which makes sense with Rick and Dee in the show. But also like it doesn't feel like that's been a huge like theme of the season.
No.
Like they're mentioned as the survivors, but like I don't know. I feel like that'd be a bigger through line. And also it's Big Brother's 1,000th episode. It'd be weird to celebrate it with Survivor, which is like sure, like they're like sibling like productions essentially, but it's kind of like the most direct competitor to Big Brother that exists. So it'd be kind of weird to have a Survivor Week. I've been thinking like an instant eviction, like actually where there's a head of household and they nominate 2 people or 3 people. They have a blockbuster and one of the those 3 go. Something that I think could be very, very funny, but I just don't see it actually happening because I think it'd be kind of broken and rigged. Would be that Rachel comes back and starts to play now.
Yeah.
And that her eviction from White Locust like was like taken so horribly that they're like, we're going to give her another shot the next season and to pick up where she was, left off and add another vet into the house.
She will save us for sure.
Exactly. Really wishful thinking, right?
That would be funny.
Have you been thinking about anything?
I've been thinking about it. I mean, the split really is like sticking out to me. I don't know why. And they said it's not going to be a split house, but I do think the split house was such a. I mean, it didn't change much in what season was that? Taylor season 25, I think.
25.
But I will say, a split would kind of shake the game up pretty well. Like think about it. If it was okay, there's going to be 10 people left. It was Yash, Taylor, and Lala, and let's say Barrett and Drew on one side, and then it's Melody, Mallory, or let's say Haley, or let's say Mallory goes home. Melody, Haley, 3 icons. Let's say one of the icons is the other one. So it's like maybe it's Yash, Taylor, Lala, Barrett, and Angela, and then Devon's D, Melody, Drew, and who else? Haley, Dog. So there's 5 versus 5, and like maybe it's like 5v5. Maybe it's like, okay, you aren't competing against each other, you're competing with each other. The 5 people who win are safe, and the other 5 are up for eviction. There's going to be a blockbuster. 2 people will win, and then 1 person will be voted out of the 3.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I just kind of want something to put Yash, Taylor, and Lala in a good position, and whatever that means, take that back. I mean, I also think like it's tricky because like say if that happened and then Yash again, this is why the deal sucks for Yash. If a split did happen and he did win HOH, maybe it is broken and maybe he has no choice but to nominate the icons, and maybe that is the loophole. But what probably could happen is like if is Yash and Taylor and 2 icons and another person, you're forced to nominate Taylor and the other person. Now you don't have the numbers to keep her. That will suck. So like there could be a lot of things that could happen to fuck Yash over, which is why I honestly wish he would have just took the L and just got on the block this week and just like, you know what? For the longevity of my game, just like you did last week, I have to say no, because like if anything happened, I'm gonna be in a predicament where I can't even not only protect myself, I can't protect the people who will actually get me further in the game anyway. And if that's the case, I might as well be on the block with them tonight because that's what will happen later. But I hope it's something that shakes up the game, knocks the icons off their pedestal, and
Please.
Honestly, I need the icon to go home and whatever twist this 1,000 episode brings us.
Please. Instant evict.
Or Barrett.
Instant evict Angela or Barrett, please.
Mm-hmm. I also, thinking back to my original theory that a lot of other people are going to come back, maybe it's like battle for your spot, or another icon's gonna come in and take your place. I don't know.
I do think the idea of somebody coming back makes sense. Like I don't know. It seems like the season's been pretty quick. I feel like there's time for some doubles.
Yeah, like it's already jury. We have the show ends October or whatever. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5-ish weeks left of the game. So like there could be a lot of things that happen with only 10 people left after this week. So I think someone's coming back. I think someone's coming back. I wish it was someone from the cast.
Yeah.
And it should be someone from the cast. But
it won't
we
be.
know that that's not gonna happen. And maybe that is the twist. Maybe it's like this person knows everything now and they're back in the game. That would be wild.
Welcome back, Ashley.
Yeah. Ashley's gotten to see all the intricacies of your game the last week or so. Maybe the person who goes home this week will have the option of coming back in the game. Like, you never know. I don't know.
Yeah. Who's to say?
Who's to say? Who can say? Any last words before we sign off for this beautiful, lovely week 7 of the game?
I just hope next week we have a little bit of a shakeup, some real change in the game that will really get a power shakeup. We need to see Dee and Devins off the top of the totem pole. It's been too long.
Too long. I agree with that. That's my final words too. Dee and Devins, down with Dee and Devins. They gotta go.
They're rootable villains. They're great villains, but
they're rootable villains.
They've had too much go their way, and it's not fun to watch anymore.
Yeah, it's not. I agree. All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you next week, week 8, after the 1,000th episode. And if something crazy happens, maybe we'll come back sooner to talk about it. We'll see. All right. Bye.
Your typical podcast.